Nothing happens on this planet until somebody picks something up or somebody drops something off. We got some experts to talk about that right here. Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethwish, aka the Cardinal Cowboy. We got our titles flashing, we got our headphones on, and we are ready to talk a little bit about a part of the world a lot of people may overlook, but it's a vital piece, because if you're not getting the goods delivered, how are you going to get anything done? You got to get the work done. You got to have the materials if you're going to build anything, if you're going to do anything. So you guys have turned into an expert hauling company now. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about the background here. First, before I jump in, though, let me give a shout out. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. See what we did there? We've got our own little castle, and everybody generally they've got furniture. You got furniture in your little castle, but that furniture had to get hauled, and so you need a company that can actually haul the materials. And we found some experts that can help us with that and to understand what we've got going on, or else nothing does get sent from one place to another. You got to deliver the goods, as they say. So with that, here we have some beautiful pictures. That's your guys' truck. That's a good-looking truck right there, isn't it, guys?
That's the truck.
And there you go. Mud Hauling Enterprises based here out of St. Louis, Missouri, right? Tell me, who wants to tell me a little bit about how this business got started? Why did you guys decide to get into the hauling business?
Well, I'll let Will tell his side of the story.
All right, Will, tell me.
Well, it's crazy. We met at an event. I was outside having a conversation with a couple of people, and Dan walked up. And we just started having a casual conversation. And he was like, man, I was thinking about starting a dump truck company. And I said, it's kind of crazy. I'm a dump truck driver. And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk a little bit more about it. And I think we talked for about a week, you think? And then we had a real stand-up business meeting. We went and sat down and we talked. And he said, well, if you find a truck, we'll get started. I said, well, we'll definitely get started, because I'll find a truck. And so, obviously, having a common conversation with someone, you're kind of skeptical about it. But for some reason, I just knew he was serious. Like, I had no idea of thinking that he wasn't. And so after that first big meeting, I called him about 3 days later. I said, I found the truck. You ready? He was like, huh? I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I got the truck. Let's go. And once we acquired the truck, we sat down a little bit longer. We discussed the partnership, and we discussed all the logistics. And I said, well, we need to get it tagged. We got to get the name on the truck. And less than, 48 hours after we put the name on the truck?
It's pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Insurance was on the truck before we named it. Everything was taken care of logistically. All we had to do was put the badge on it. And once we badged it, we was off and running.
That's how you fast track a business, right?
Right.
Get things going.
I mean, in less than, I said 2 months time from having the first conversation to the first run. 2 months, I would think.
Okay.
And that's really quick. And most people say, well, you got to build a relationship. You got to talk to people. Most relationships don't work that fast. But it's my best friend. Like, I don't have any other friends. I deleted everyone else out of my circle. But no, I'm joking. But yeah, he and I feel like he's the best friend. We talk a lot, business, personal, and it makes everything work. It just gels the whole business and friendship together. There's nothing we can't talk about, and that's the good thing about it. In business, you got to have transparency. And in the partnership, you got to have transparency so that you can have an understanding. We may not agree on everything, but as far as a business goes, it's working. It's working. And I've been in transportation for over 10 years, and he's the first person I ever met that I really want to sit down with in the business.
So that's a good way to having that kind of relationship to run a business makes things a little easier. We all talk about we're all afraid of partnering with somebody only to have conflict within the business because the two partners don't see eye to eye. But Dan, this has worked out for you. This is a good relationship. It's done well.
I would back up everything Will just said. I'm super blessed to have ran into him to be able to start this business, and couldn't ask for a better partner.
Well, that's like we talk about when you're launching any kind of business. It's a struggle either way. It's better if you can find a good partner, but so often we find that there's somebody just things don't jive, and you've got a little bit of a disagreement, and then you start off people going off in different directions, and that's what causes a lot of businesses to fail. In this case, you guys have kind of you jumped in knowing that you guys would work out well together. And
we did. I actually had a secret interview with Will. I had him meet me at a local restaurant, and I had one of my friends there who's also in the industry. Shout out to my friend Jonathan. I won't mention any business names here, but he sat down with us, and at the end of it, Will took off, and Jonathan and I met in the parking lot. He said, "If you don't hire him, I will." He's like, and that was awesome.
Okay, yeah, it's a good advocacy there from somebody you trusted that said this guy's on the ball. So, and it's been off to the races ever since. When you're starting a company like this, though, what were some of the parameters? I mean, there's got to be some delegation here. Who kind of obviously, Will, you're driving the truck most of the time?
Yeah, I like to say he's in the back office and I'm in the streets.
Okay.
We're both muscle, we're both brains. We don't know 100% of the business, so we're learning together. I know a lot of the business. I wouldn't say 100% because no one knows it all.
Right.
But when coming into the business, I think the reason we gelled is because we're able to bounce things off of each other and get the legitimate answers, or the hard question with the hard answer. So it works, it works.
And then Dan, running the business, tell me how this has worked on the back end for you, somebody to make sure that the logistics are in place.
Yeah, the back end has been mostly connections and who you know, and St. Louis is the show me state, and I feel like a lot of times it's show me the door unless you know the right people, and I have been very lucky to know people who need dump trucks quite frequently. So talking to a bunch of different friends who own different construction businesses, they all said, if you get a truck, we'll hire you, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, like I said, there's so much you don't realize. The logistics with regard to getting the materials delivered, getting things picked up, getting things on site. These guys who are building these big buildings, they don't just poof, snap their fingers. The stuff has to get planned logistically and put everything in place so those guys can do the work. Give me a little bit of your background. I know Will, a driver for 10 years prior to this, driving trucks, right?
Right.
Give me a little bit more your background and why that all works together for what you guys.
So I actually own a real estate company here in St. Louis that I've owned for about 12 years. It's called STL Development Partners. We specialize in housing people with addiction. So I've been involved in real estate my whole life, or for the past 12 years, it feels like my whole life. And I'm also in law enforcement, police officer in St. Louis County. Been doing that for a couple of years with a little break, just a reserve now.
Well, that's great service right there, too. I didn't realize, police officers, a lot of people know I'm a strong advocate. We do the guns and hoses, but I was in a bad accident, hit by a drunk driver in a coma, and the police officers literally were there at the scene making sure, get the EMTs there, pulled me out of the car. A drunk driver hit us and saved my life, so thank you guys. Thank you for your work there. But that kind of helps everybody understand how your mind works to where you can run a business too, and community stuff you're doing, a lot of good stuff to help the community and providing housing for people that are struggling and going through addiction. Is that what you said?
Yes sir. Just love helping people.
Yeah, I'd say that's a lot of there's a big need for that here in our this little part of the world and across the country. But we all know that the problems that addiction can cause with drugs. So it kind of gives you that mindset for making sure you take care, but also understand how to run a business. It looks like you guys are doing great stuff. So how long has the business actually been in business, and how long from the start to finish? And how long do you think you're going to run this? Is this something you guys anticipate going the rest of your lives?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I always joke with him. I said, man, it's for infinity. And he say, huh? I was like, yeah, it's an 8, bro. It don't stop. It just runs in circles.
Yeah.
We won't end this. We won't end this. We pray, and I pray that we have more than abundance of trucks and be able to employ more people in the city. Whether it be drivers, mechanics, you know, whatever it takes for our trucks to run and do the job that we do. Eventually, we want to be able to be the guys who's loading our own trucks. I want to anyway, to have the equipment within our system. So people can call us and we're a one-stop shop. You know, we can come get it, load it, haul it, bring it back to you or whatever you need. So yeah, we just starting. I mean, 3 months in, and looking to grow by 2026. Another 2 trucks, put 2 more people out here to work, you know, help the city, help some of the people who need to work. It's hard. I mean, the economy is hard. So we want to build something that's going to benefit not only us, but more people to come.
That's a good strategy to have to if you're going to help the planet, help a lot of people along the way. What does a truck go for these days? Is there a range? I guess it depends. I mean, these things are big diesels. These things carry quite a bit of weight. What's the range for?
Anywhere from 80,000 to 300,000.
Oh wow! So you can spend as much.
Yeah,
on a truck
about a
as
quarter of a
buy
million in
house.
already. About a quarter of a million in
Okay.
already.
And that's because they've got so much power and load capacity and all
Yeah.
the safety features and everything that goes into this. And
Yeah, and not to mention the maintenance.
and
I mean, and it's not maintenance, normal maintenance. It's residual maintenance, like everyday maintenance almost. I'm not saying that the trucks are bad, but it's certain things you have to do. You have to keep them clean. You can't have dirt in certain places. So it's maintenance that you do on these trucks daily. And while driving them, you have to be able to notice when you have something happen. So these trucks are very, very intricate equipment and machines that has to be taken care of so that they can take care of us.
yeah, they say your car, your vehicle will talk to you when there's a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. As a driver, your vehicle talks to you every day, all day. And you got to be listening. You got to know what you're doing. It's not like just get in and drive, you know.
Dan, does it sound like William's got this under control, right?
He'll call me and say, hey, we need to get a new tire on here, and here's why, and safety first, right? So Will does a lot of the prep and make sure that truck is safe to roll down the road.
Well, obviously you guys got your heart in the right place here, and you're going to help fill a need. And I'll recall a friend of mine. I don't even remember the name of the company, but he said, man, there's a huge need for hauling, trucking, and getting things from one place to another. And as our business world expands and more people and the population grows, there's more work to be done. There's more housing projects. There's more business development. And these things got to get delivered, and you guys are helping. What's the capacity for the truck you've got now? How many pounds, or how does that get?
Well, how many tons of
We've been running about 25 ton per load.
25 tons per load.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
And
you can
that's not our max, but we keep it at 25.
haul. Okay.
Yeah, that's the safe number.
Wow, that's a lot. I figured.
Yeah, it's a pretty big truck.
1 or 2 tons, but it's
No,
25 tons.
Yeah, it's a big truck, and with it being a large truck, being on the street, you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of it.
Yeah, so safety driving is important.
hmm That's the big thing, safety. I mean, the truck is equipped to haul everything and anything. We can haul anything from sand to asphalt, from asphalt to concrete. And you name it, we'll put it in it, and we'll get it where it goes.
Well, it sounds like we're on the ball here. We're going to share a little bit of some of the fun we've got going on in the community. We recently, Josh Grayson came in for a little community. He sang a couple songs here at a private acoustic set here at the casino, not far from here. And Hollywood hosted him, and it was quite a good event here for if you support our troops. Check out what we had going on here.
He's a credible surprise for you. We have a lot of stuff to do in the community, but it's getting to work with the great organizations like we have here. So give it up for Little Patriots Embrace, everybody. Woo! And while you're at it, give a shout out to yourselves for showing up tonight to support such an awesome organization. You guys are great. What a nice turnout tonight. And I'm going to turn off that music. So, LPE's mission is to serve our military children during deployments. Little Patriots Embrace is celebrating its 20th year in 2025. Give it up for that. Is that cool? April 2026 will be 21 years. The charity has served over 100,000 military children across the country and has a huge impact on our military families. Isn't that pretty cool? I mean, you think about it, we got troopers going out there, men and women going out there to protect our country, but what do they do with the children? And there's no specific funding for that, right? The military people get paid a little bit for what they do, but families need some help. So Carol's made this much for 20. Congratulations, Carol. Good job. Thank you.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. So there it is, a lot of the fun stuff we get to do in the community, and always working, always busy. That's key to the success. I mean, how much do we depend on our technology these days? We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's do a little cost analysis, if you will. As I put the cowboy hat on here. There's always the do-it-yourselfers. I've done this a little bit myself, so I'm guilty a little bit, but you don't realize what kind of risk you're taking. But get the U-Haul, right, and then you can haul your stuff until you have a problem or you hit somebody, and then the insurance and all of the other things that are important that most people don't consider. But what are the benefits by using you guys? What does somebody put at risk by trying to do the hauling themselves?
Well, you have to have a commercial driver's license to haul anything of the weight that we can carry. So that eliminates a lot of do-it-yourselfers right off the bat. And then, if you don't need a CDL for a certain weight limit, you have to have a truck that can actually tow it, which is pretty difficult to come up with. A really good friend of mine, Trent, he just hired us, even though he owns his own dump truck that's much smaller. He can only carry like 6 tons at a time. Okay. So he, reached out to us to get it done.
Yeah, well, 25 tons versus 6 tons, that's a big difference, right?
Big difference.
He's talking 4.5 times more, but I mean, geez, that's just so much weight that I can't imagine. So what are the typical materials that you guys are hauling when you're doing your jobs? Is it everything rock to gravel to what are you normally hauling for people?
So it's a lot of it's dirt removal and excavating.
Okay.
So like one of our partners, if you will, is a grading company, and they are moving dirt constantly to build new foundations or make room for any kind of foundation to lay pipes and all sorts of stuff. So they need someone to haul that dirt off of the site. So we'll handle that for them. And the opposite is sometimes you need dirt to fill in for a project.
Right.
So sometimes we're literally moving from one job site to another, picking up dirt to just drop dirt off somewhere else.
And you can coordinate that, so sometimes you might have dirt somebody needs, you're taking it away from somebody who's giving it up, and kind of. But as we talk about, these materials, if they don't have your services, nothing gets done. They've got to have these things delivered and in place, or else you can't build. And so, what is the average? How big is 25 tons of dirt? I guess that's got to be a huge amount of dirt.
Yeah, and usually we won't fill up 25 tons of dirt in the truck. Usually that's when we're moving gravel or rock of some sort.
Okay. But yeah, you're hauling just tremendously heavy, and so the average person, they're not going to even try to do this. So you're talking to people
right.
More commercial stuff.
Takes a lot of equipment too. As you can see in the photos, it takes a loader to load the truck.
Yeah, I'm gonna put up on the wall here, but yeah, here's your couple pictures of your vehicle right there, and there's a loader. Yeah, that loader, what do you call that? Is that a skid steer?
It's a skid steer, and it takes a little, sometimes more than a skid steer, to get it loaded.
Yeah, so this thing here is dumping in a quarter ton at a time. How much was that skid steer?
Yeah, maybe.
That's a lot.
Maybe
to be able to dump in there.
Yeah.
So taking up a lot with that as it is. Well, tell me what sets you guys apart. I mean, I think I'm a big advocate that the smaller the business, usually the more nimble, the more creative. When they want to talk to the boss, right? You guys are both available at any time. There's no multiple levels you got to go through if you got a problem or a question. What do you guys? What really sets you guys apart? What do you bring to the table? Do you think you make yourselves better?
I think our biggest difference is the boss is on the site. A lot of times you have guys who have the dump trucks or have the hauling company, but they're never on site. They're in the office or away, but with us, the boss is on the site. The owner is on the site. So I'm considered an owner-operator. And when I'm on site, you can ask me any question. You can get the answer that's gonna stand. You don't have to ask me, then ask Dan, then Dan ask somebody else. No, you get it right there on site.
Makes it easier to make decisions too. Get things done.
Oh, yeah.
People have a question. They've got a problem. Can we haul this extra load? Can we get these things done at a special
Right.
time? All those decisions can be made quickly and on the fly because you guys are
Right.
available to make those changes. Dan, is that a big advantage? You think that really helps you guys?
Huge advantage. Most of our customers are in group chats with Will and myself, and they'll just kind of shoot us a text and say, hey, can you guys be here tomorrow at 6:30 in the morning? And one of us is going to jump on it and talk to each other real quick, and we get it done.
And so you're making sure all the logistics you plan behind the scenes, and then William, you're the driver, going to make sure that all the work
Gets done and gets done correctly.
What's the average haul distance that you guys take stuff? Like, can it be as short as a
It could
couple
be
blocks? But
it can be 1 mile or 100. Just depends on what you need and where you need it.
yeah, so there's stuff you can haul from. Is most everything normally throughout the St. Louis area, or do you go outside of St. Louis?
We can go outside of St. Louis.
Okay.
We are licensed and we do have all the proper federal numbers in order to travel over the interstate.
Okay. And then what's the longest haul you've already done so far?
Well, I guess
25 miles?
Okay. Yeah, so you're going across the whole city of St. Louis
The whole city.
to haul materials. And we're driving around with 25 tons of material in your truck. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are making that happen. Give me. You talk about the CDL. What kind of certifications? Obviously, you guys carry quite a bit of insurance. I'm assuming so. Then, but that CDL. Why is that CDL so
Well,
important?
with the CDL, it allows me to drive Class B. Okay, with the CDL, I have a Class B. I'm able to drive trucks that will carry a certain capacity or load. I also have to have an endorsement of air brakes because these trucks don't come with the regular hydraulic brakes, they come with air brakes. So you have to have endorsements, special endorsements on your license in order to operate these trucks within the law. Now, you have some guys out here who don't, but I'm going to make sure that mud hauling is 100% legit, and I'm going to carry the license, the endorsements, and everything that comes along with it. Yeah. The insurance is back office.
Back into the but so it sounds like the front end is taken care of. Back end, you're making sure to manage all this and get all that proper licensing, insurance covered, because you don't want to take a risk of messing up somebody's work job.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have things set up right.
Anybody who has insurance on heavy machinery that's watching this knows how much it costs, and it is expensive. It's a house payment for insurance on these.
Oh wow. So, but putting that proper insurance and coverage in there is essential to what you guys are doing. Tell me then, what's the biggest mistake that the average business owner who's trying to get something hauled, what's the biggest mistake that they make?
Size of they
Underestimate.
Yeah, underestimating the size of the job, or underestimating how much they need to load or have hauled off. That's probably the biggest mistake. You know, some people shouldn't assume if they don't know,
Right.
but a lot of them do.
Yeah. So that size of the job, then it's going to be how many loads and how much
How much rock
transportation,
they need.
how much
Right.
rock, and so then they're like, oh, we didn't realize it's going to be 5 loads instead of 3.
Right.
Now they've got a little bit heftier bill to get this done, and
And that's one plus as a small business, and as a partnership, we can also adjust where it needs to be adjusted so that our clients and customers are happy with our service. So where some people stand in concrete, we stand on clouds. It's easier to deal with us as a small business. And they can come to us with a budget. In some kind of way, we'll try to work it out.
gotcha. That's what we talk about, the flexibility, ease of use. When you have a small business, you can make these changes much more easy. So this is a pretty symbiotic, easy working relationship between you guys to make this business successful.
Correct.
Super easy.
Awesome, guys. Well, that wraps up the first half hour. We're going to have them stick around for another half an hour, and we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty when it comes down to this. But William and Dan will share with us some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on, and you'll want to learn a little bit about that. Stay tuned for that, everybody. Giddy up.